Welcome. In this session, we'll discuss one of the questions that was asked in UPSC General Studies Paper 2, and that was for the year 2022. It talked about global warming, the effects, and the potential measures that you can take. So, now this question, the way you need to answer for your UPSC is really interesting. So, here we'll try to help you understand that in a simple way. Now, global warming, as we have already seen, is a certain rise in the temperature, right? Now, what happens in a normal condition? In a normal condition, if you see, you would find that there has been the impact which is seen on the earth's surface, but the radiations actually lose back. However, what would happen in the case of a greenhouse effect, as you can see, is there would be a increase in the surface temperature because the radiations would hold for a longer duration. Now, if we look onto the statistics, we would see that over the years there has been a significant increase in the amount of carbon dioxide emissions into the atmosphere, and the pre-industrial level were somewhere at around 280 parts per million, which has increased to 425. Now, this has a direct impact onto the surface temperature. So, the surface temperature pre-industrial, which was below 1.1 degree Celsius rise, has increased significantly, and in the recent years, indeed, we have seen the strongest or the steepest rise, right? Again, what is important to note is the impacts that it would see. So, as we know, what would happen when there is a global warming? The glaciers would start to melt. So, the first and the foremost thing that we would see is the rise in the sea level. Now, this rise in the sea level means that the glaciers are reducing. So, there is a decline in the ice cover. Now, this ice cover is true for both Arctic as well as Antarctic. However, in the Arctic, we have seen that there has been a decadal loss of nearly 13%. As a result, the glaciers would turn into water and start to move down. Now, this has also led to what is called as Gloff effect, which is glacial lake outburst floods. Now, again, this would create a significant impact onto the villages and the settlements in the low-lying area because the glacial water which is flowing, it does not have a capability to store that much water, the areas there, and as a result, it would lead to a sudden gush of water in the low-lying areas, leading to what is called as Gloff, which has become a very, very important natural disaster of recent. Again, these global warming phenomena are associated with extreme weather conditions. Now, these extreme weather conditions would be in the form of extreme heat waves, all of the sudden rapid precipitation, extreme precipitations, and intensified precipitations rather. Also, intensified cyclonic activities. There has been reported shift in the agricultural pattern as well because the timing in which the monsoon occurs has changed significantly. Now, this affects the agricultural crop. So, we are now focusing toward what is known as more climate resilient cropping patterns. Now, even for wheat, for example, we have a set of temperature that is required. Now, if that set of temperature is not met, what would happen? The quality of the production would be affected, and moreover the yield would be affected, that is the amount produced would be affected in simple terms. So, to check all that, what is required is to have resilient variety. Bhalia is one such resistant variety which is a GI tagged crop in Gujarat. Similarly, we are talking about millets and coarse grains because they can stand extreme weather and climatic conditions. Also, this climate change is leading to what is called as increase in the vector-borne diseases even in higher altitudes and latitudes. The simple reason being because the temperatures are now getting warmer, and as a result the diseases are spreading at a faster pace. Now, again, when this increases, right, there is a degradation in the oceanic life structure as well. So, ocean acidification occurs, which ultimately leads to impact on coral and what is called as the coral bleaching effect. We have talked about coral bleaching in a separate lecture, extremely important even for students with geography optional, so not to miss that. So, all of these are some of the important aspects that we need to focus on. Now, as we come on to the control measures, there has been a huge debate lying from Kyoto Protocol to Paris Agreement, and there have been numerous developments between those NX1 nations and NX2 nations, or non-NX1 nations as they are called as, so developed versus developing nation. Now, they have what is called as DRC, which is Differential Responsibilities Principle. That means the developed nations would reduce the carbon dioxide emission targets to well below 5.2 by 1990. However, certain countries like India and China and developing nations are exempted from meeting those targets for a given period of time. Now, again, the reduction in the emission is one of the foremost thing that has to be done. So there are three mechanisms which have been adopted under the Kyoto Protocol, which we have covered in our lecture on Kyoto Protocol in detail. However, just to summarize, it is the CDM, that is the Clean Development Mechanism, followed by joint implementation and trading of emissions. That means the developed nations would say these many amount of emissions which are done from the developing nations are permissible. On lieu of that, they would actually exchange the surplus emissions and sell those exceeding ones into the market, right? So that is how the carbon market actually works. A very, very important and interesting concept that has taken into account in the recent days. So this was a brief overview of what all things are really important before you start writing your answers. So whatever question that comes for your GS, it's really important to understand the concept and then think about it before you start writing. Also, as much contemporary information as you can include would be very, very beneficial. For example, Paris Agreement, the recent developments under Paris Agreement also becomes one of the important aspects, and then you can also include the COP and the developments under COP, the recent ones. So this was just an overview. For more information and handouts, refer the links below. Thanks for joining.